All right, it's almost 5:30. Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is me, Dr. Donna Thomas-Rodgers. I am here today to teach you how to use your brain. Combining it with personal accountability is called neuropability. Without further ado, let's get this party started. On your own, you're going to inhale and exhale 3 times just to let the brain and the body and the mind know that we're getting ready to do this. So 3 times in and out. My nose, gotta love allergy season. Today, we will be discussing eliminate clutter, just a couple note taking or guiding procedures for this live. This is a learning live, so gather some note taking materials. If you're new school, you'll probably have a digital device. If you're old school like me, you'll have pen and paper and a highlighter. Everything is acceptable as long as you're prepared to take notes. Additionally, you will need a second device as we will be reviewing things on the website, and that website is theturnarounddoctor.com. To quote Miss Price, my 5th grade teacher, you're going to put your thinking cap on today so that you can learn how to use your brain. Good morning, Sharonda. So let's have a quick review as we have transitioned into our next level of learning how to use our brain. I want to review neurogenesis. Neurogenesis is the process of you creating new neurons. Neuroplasticity is the brain's physical ability to rewire itself to make or create neural pathways. Now, how you do that, and you combine the two, is that you challenge yourself, which is one of the 74 principles of real leadership. You learn new skills, and you need an environmental enriched environment in order for these new neurons to survive. Now, what hinders neurogenesis is when you have a stressful environment, a toxic environment, a fearful environment. That means that you will not be able to create any new neurons if you reside in Loserville or you have people around you that are toxic, creating stress and creating fear. It's impossible for those new neurons to survive. If you think about an infant, when you first have a baby, or if you have a premature baby, it has to sit in the incubator, or if you have an infant, you can't have all these adults coughing and breathing and pets licking the baby and everything because the immune system is not strong enough to endure all of that. So as you create these new neurons, it needs to be in an environment that is nurturing and developing so that neuron can have, it can transmit, create a new neural pathway. And now you can have neuroplasticity and have new skills, and have a great life, and do what I call neuropability. Now, what is neuropability? It's combining neurogenesis and neuroplasticity and adding it to personal accountability. When you put that together, you start to create neural pathways to the 74 principles of real leadership. And I just did some simple math yesterday, and I'll do it again today. So I think I did 74 times 74 times 74 times 74 times 74. And you end up with like 22 billion new neural pathways that you can have when you keep combining and using the 74 principles of real leadership in multiple ways. So infinite possibilities with the 74 principles of real leadership. And the whole goal is to hold yourself personally accountable so that you can become your best day in and day out, and those around you too. So your community is the best community for you and those that reside in that community. That is the objective. We have 6.8 billion adults not wired for personal accountability. The brain is not wired for it. And that's why every day we will experience or be on the receiving end of another adult's unaccountability. 50 shades of it. It could be something minor, like they forgot to put mustard on your sandwich, or something major, like you go to a doctor's appointment and now it's 3 hours behind because the doctor got there late and now everybody is behind. Someone didn't show up, now it's overbooked, or whatever, what have you, and now that's thrown your entire day off. For me at Frito-Lay, it was multiple call-offs could send my day going from a 10-hour day to a 12-hour to a 15-hour day because now I have to go out there and work. So adults not being hardwired for personal accountability, being wired for negativity bias is the reason why at any given moment we could be on the receiving end, or if you are unaccountable, you could be producing an unaccountable event for someone else. So that is the mission that I have been given in life, is to create neurogenesis in the adult population, neuromobility, teaching you how to hold yourself personally accountable, neurologically, so we can all have our best existence as we continue to grow forward in life, especially with the 100 years life. We could all be here, depending on your age, anywhere. Good morning, Regina. Anywhere from 80 to 50, maybe 25 to 80 more years. So wouldn't it be grand if everybody that we came in contact with was neurologically wired for personal accountability instead of wired for personal unaccountability? So that's the gist of it. I will keep reiterating that at the beginning of lives for probably the next 2 weeks or so, just so that you get it and understand it. And then I'll come back to it as more people begin to join the live in the morning. So as I mentioned, we are eliminating clutter. And that is the principle of real leadership that we will be going over today. So the first question I'd like to ask, and this is a be honest question, do you have clutter anywhere in your life currently? Do you have clutter anywhere up here, physically, digitally, virtually? My desk is cluttered right now. So I do have clutter physically. So do you have an inbox that has a lot of emails? Is your purse, your wallet, your backpack, your car, your closet, your cabinets, your drawers, your garage, your 2 storage units, your 3 storage units, your cabinets? Is there clutter somewhere in your life? And if the answer is yes, then today is for you. Okay, so the information that I will be going over today is coming from myself, Dr. Donna Thomas-Rodgers, Real Leaders Wear Pink. Also from Sandra Martinez, The Science Behind Decluttering. It's from Blue Cross Blue Shield Blue Cross Blue Shield Michigan Daily, the mental health article, and also from a UCLA study. So I've gotten that out the way. That's where the information is coming from. So let's start with clutter. So clutter isn't just messy and disorganizing. So that isn't it. It's not just I'm messy and I'm disorganized. It can be bad for your physical and mental health. Did you know that? That clutter, it's not just, I need to organize. Yeah, I know it's a little messy, it's a little junky. We go to people's houses, they say, excuse the mess. We do organizations and they're like, I don't even know where to start. So it's not that it's just disorganized or it's just messy. It's actually impacting your physical and your mental health. So when people start saying, I need a mental health day, and then you go home and move all of the 5 loads of laundry off of your bed to the side to go to sleep, you sleeping next to your mental health issues. You stepping over your mental health issues. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, decluttering can improve your focus. It can reduce anxiety and it can help deter you from procrastination. So procrastination is the enemy is one of the 74 principles of real leadership as well. So you procrastinate because you get so much clutter and so much stuff everywhere. You like, I would start this project, but I can't find my computer. Man, I was going to fix the fence, but I don't even know what I did with my toolbox. It's somewhere in the garage, and so on and so forth, that you just are like, man, if I can't do this because there are 15 other things that are on top of the thing that I need to do. So then you simply procrastinate and you don't do it at all. And the clutter is competing for your attention. So clutter on the outside, I always say clutter on the outside is an indication of clutter on the inside. So this cluttered brain is what's causing all of this clutter on the outside of your life, and everything is competing for your attention. So the dishes, the laundry, the 15 outfits that you tried on before you went to your event, and now they're sitting there, and the shoes. When I graduated from college, I had a delayed commission because I injured my shoulder, so I moved to Ohio with my friend from college, Nikita, and we lived together briefly. And she would just have every pair of shoes that she wore for the week and the weekend, from the front door all the way. My room was at the front of the apartment, so I'd have to walk past all her shoes, all her everything. Instead of washing the dishes, she would just put them in the microwave and put the dirty dishes in the stove. And she took a shower with baby oil, so sometimes I would hear her about to slip and fall, and she wouldn't clean the baby oil. I was like, I'm moving back to Michigan. I can't, because this is just too much. So there was clutter everywhere except for in my room, in my bathroom. So that attention, and she was just like, I just can't, I'm just so just confused and frazzled and everything. And it's because all of those piles and stacks and emails and junk mail, especially when we do organizations with people, they will have years worth of unopened mail. I don't even know how that's possible. I'm like, I think that might have been important. This is dated. So most of our things that we get are digital now. We get a couple coupons or whatever to the point where we don't only have to check our mail. Um, Yes. So she was just like when she gets out. So after she finishes, they're supposed to keep the moisture in the skin if you put it on your body while the body is still wet in the shower. Something somebody told her. So she would be finished and then would put it on and then get out the shower. So it's supposed to be something about hydration with the skin. That's what she said. So I just use baby oil and cocoa butter and now shea butter. So the point is that everything is competing for your attention. So the bigger thing is that clutter can increase the cortisol, which is a stress hormone. So cortisol is, and this is from the Cleveland Clinic, so that's the fourth one, is a hormone that your adrenal glands make and release. And cortisol goes through your whole body. I could do a whole live on just cortisol. Your body releases cortisol when you experience any of these types of stresses. Okay, so anytime you have these three types of stress, you get cortisol. We know it comes to the frontal lobe, you get brain fog, and everything goes left after that. So acute stress, and that's short-term stress. Chronic stress, which is long-term stress, and traumatic stress. Okay, so acute, chronic, and traumatic. So basically, anytime you get stress, cortisol. Anytime. Anytime some stress show up, cortisol is like, hey, you stressed. It could be short-term, long-term, or it could be traumatic. And now, so every time you have clutter, that's creating more stress. So the more clutter you have, is short-term, is long-term, it could be coming from trauma. So that's creating more clutter. And now you're just walking around in this doggone cortisol, brain fog state. And there's no way that neurogenesis is happening. Why? Because where does neurogenesis need to happen? It needs to happen in an environmentally enriched environment. So you can't create new neural pathways. You can't create new neurons if you have clutter, because now you have cortisol. So there's no way that it's happening. So when I'm saying do this, do this, do that, or you could do this, and you're sitting here with all this cortisol and all this clutter, you're saying when, where, how, why, how, Dr. When? How am I going to do that? How am I going to participate in the PA challenge? How am I going to do RL 365? How? Look at my life. And you have to clear out the clutter in order to even remotely hear what I'm saying. To do what I'm saying do, you can't do it in an environment where you're stressed. Remember, stress and fear, you can't create neurogenesis. There are no new neurons. The neurons like, nope, I'm not going, shoot, nope. You got to clear all that up if you think I'm coming over there. No, absolutely not. Clutter can also lead to feelings of shame, guilt, or inadequacy. Whenever we do organizations and people have to send pictures and then we show up, we just did an organization last week. People are like, I don't even know how I got here and I just don't know where to start. And every time I just look at it, I try to pick something up and I just become overwhelmed and I just close the door. I just close the door. I just close the door. And then they got a house full of rooms with the doors closed because it's just shit everywhere. And that is a problem. So now you got this guilt, this shame, this inadequacy on top of everything that you have to do. And now you're stressed. And now you have this environment where you're just like, man, I just want things to get better. But you can't even find the first piece of paper to pick up, the first dish to wash, because there's so much. And it's your brain fog. You don't have access to the frontal lobe. So you can't use your working memory to do a priority PEMDAS, to do a task of, let me start with the kitchen, then I'm gonna move to the bedroom, then I'm gonna go to my car, I'm gonna go to the garage, the storage unit, the shed, the extra storage sheds and all of that. You don't even know where to begin because you can't think clearly. So that's no bueno whatsoever. And then clutter can decrease your ability to focus and produce. How you gonna focus with brain fog? How are you going to access, you moving stuff out the way, trying to get to your working memory? Like, excuse me, sorry, oh dang, I stepped on a shoe. Man, where'd that candle come from? That's that flashlight. Oh, how am I going to get that done? You can't focus because it's all of this guilt, shame, stress, and everything else in the way, and you trying to clear. I can't see clearly. You can't think clearly. You ain't going to be able to see because this is fogged up. You can get you some new glasses and it ain't going to matter. You can get you some bifocals like me. You get you some trifocals and it ain't going to happen. It's not, because it's happening up here. So clutter can also cause you to lose sleep. Say what? Because cortisol impacts your sleep patterns. So now you're trying to figure out, man, if I could just rest, I know what I need. If I get a good night's rest, I'm going to be able to get up tomorrow and clean all of this up. But you can't because of the cortisol and the clutter. So now you can't sleep. So now you're tired. And now you're just like, but if I could just get a good night's rest, then I would be able to get this done. I am in your life right now. Well, hello. Now I'm sleepy. Now you're sitting at work. Even if you work remotely, you're tired. You're just like, whew, if I could just get some sleep. That's all I need is a good night's rest. Not going to happen. Cortisol said, because you have that acute, you either got long-term or short-term stress. And if all the clutter is the result of trauma, you ain't getting no sleep. So now you're impacting other things that are happening neurologically because now you can't sleep. So clutter can negatively impact your weight. Hello. If you are overweight because you tend to consume more unhealthy foods when you got clutter. If we had somebody so bad she could use only one of her bathrooms and crawl up the stairs. The kitchen was a wrap. Stuff was in the sink, in the cabinets, and everywhere else. So now you got DoorDash coming. You got DoorDash, you're just grabbing something. We had somebody's house was so bad, she said she would just eat and go upstairs. They was eating takeout, and just throwing the trash out. Just take that trash out, and that's it, because it was so much. So now you're overweight because of the clutter too. So you're overweight, you can't sleep, you're stressed out, you can't think, you can't see straight, and it's impacting your mental and physical health because of the clutter. So now, and you can't create new neurons. All that's happening because of all your stuff. It's called stuffification. All your stuff is suffocating you. And that's the Dr. Donna's dictionary. All of that is taking place from your clutter. So how do you eliminate the clutter? I'm glad you asked. Let me make that a highlight. Okay. So you address the why of the clutter. Why do I have this much clutter? Why? And that's root cause analysis. I learned that at Frito-Lay. You ask why 5 times in order to get to how did you get here? Because if you moved in, it was empty. Whenever you moved into where you moved into, it was empty. Unless you still live at home with your parents, and you can ask them, what did this used to look like before y'all did all this to it? So it was empty. And how did it not get empty? And at one point it was just furnished. And then it became more furnished. And then it became full. And then now it's busted at the seams. So why is there so much clutter? And what we found when we do organizations is we have a system called DDK, discard, donate, and keep. And discard means nobody can use it. It's old receipts and stuff with coffee stains on it, paper, stuff that's just torn up and ripped up that has to just go in the trash. Donate are things that are still usable, but you're not using them no more. So we kind of have a conversation and come on, give it to us so we can go take it to Savers. And then you just keep what you are actually going to use. But if you have an emotional attachment, we find people that will have gifts given to them by family members. The family members don't really know who they are, so they gave them a gift. You ain't going to use it. It's hideous. It's something you would never wear, never display in your home. We have a client, the one we did the garage shelves for, every year her mother sends her hideous Christmas decorations for her tree that she never uses, and she sits there and I'm like, this ain't the color. We not just put this up. Did mom visit already? Yeah, then you ain't even got to worry about this. Put them in the shelf that we just put on the wall, because that's not going to work. So you have this emotional attachment, your binky, your children's things. And we go to houses and parents have everything from every child in every box. And my rule for NOLA was, you finish first grade, all your first grade stuff that you want to keep got to fit in this box. All your second grade stuff that you want to keep got to fit in this box. So now there's just these little boxes of your childhood. We don't have every drawing that she ever made for me, for herself. Ain't a bunch of macaroni doggone necklaces and stuff like that. You get 1 box per year, and that's it. So this emotional attachment to these things. And then if you grew up poor like me, now you're holding on to it because you didn't have, because me, I used to have so many coats because I only had 1 jacket in Michigan. I had 1 jacket, 1 coat, freezing. And my college roommate and I, when we were in college, we had to share 1 jacket. It didn't even have a hood, and the zipper was broke. So we would wear the jacket to class. We had to schedule our class around my jacket and sit in the building with the jacket on, because once you zipped it, you couldn't unzip it. You had to step out of it. So once I got a hold to some revenue, I had coats on coats on coats and jackets on jackets on jackets and all of that. But I am a person that gives things away. So while I had them, I started replacing them. If I get a new jacket, let me give this other jacket away. I've given away fur coats. But if you have that emotional attachment, so people who grew up not having a lot and now have a lot don't want to give it away, even though they're not using it. And the first thing out their mouth is, well, if you give it to them, then one of the people at the place is going to wear it. Who cares? Good morning, Lola. Who cares who gets it? We take it to Savor. We literally have donated things to Savor and seen it in the store, seen it on the mannequin. Why does it matter who has it afterwards if someone is actually using it? So that's number one. Number two is retail therapy. Now, what I have found with these most recent organizations is people have two different things. I only wear my outfits once. And two, I'm just gonna buy stuff because I don't like my job, but I make a lot of money, so I'm gonna just buy stuff. So this person had so much stuff, and I thought we had everything together. We got everything down to the person just needs one wardrobe and one dresser, and all of it was gonna be done. And then we found two more bags full of brand new stuff with tags still on it. And when we undid the bed, it was another pile of clothes that still had tags on it too. I'm like, this is entirely too much for one person. It's like, well, I travel and okay, but we in three closets right now. This is a lot, and the closets are big. So now you're just buying things to feel safe. So now you just got stuff. Like one thing about being African American is not having a lot of furniture and stuff meant that you was poor. So you got to have rugs, and you got to have end tables and coffee tables and lamps and pictures and mirrors and shit on the wall and stuff in the bathroom and bath mats and rugs and the thing on the back of the toilet. And when I first moved here in 2011, I had all of that. By 2012, I was like, why do I have the towel that goes on the stove? And every time you put it down, lift the stove, that towel is touching the floor. Why do I just need a bath mat. Why do I need rugs in the bathroom? Why do I need a rug at the front door, a rug at the garage door, and the runners on the steps and all this, and end tables and tchotchkes and just so much stuff to clean. But that lets people know we ain't broke around here. We got tables, we got end tables, we got coffee tables, we got nightstands and bedside tables and dressers and chest of drawers and all, and you can't even get in the bedroom. You got to open the door and put your butt on the bed because you got so much furniture in the doggone bedroom. I said, no, we just want space. Where is the space at? So buying things just to feel safe. Absolutely not. There are plenty of walls. We don't have a lot of pictures on the walls. We don't even have an end table on coffee tables no more. I use an ottoman and a book and a two cube calyx in the library with books on it. So you don't have to do all of that. And then a traumatic event. So something traumatic happens to you and you find safety in all your stuff. And so that helps you feel comfortable and safe. So that's how you got the clutter. You got to address the why first. Because if you don't address the why, it's going to happen again. So once you understand, once I understood, okay, I got all these towels and tables and tchotchkes and things on the wall, mirrors and clocks and all this stuff, because that's how I was raised. I don't want none of that stuff because I got to keep cleaning it. And I ain't got time to keep cleaning all that. How many mirrors do you need? How many clocks do you need? How many things? We got on our sofa table when you walk in the house, a client that was moving to Italy gave us some katanas, and that's what's on the sofa table. And there was nothing. I used to have a chess set on the dining room table. Then when you had to put potpourri out, I had this big old thing with potpourri in it and all these vases and all. You got to put a vase over here with some fake flowers over here. And no one has time for all of that. Okay. It's just, and now you got to update it. You get new furniture. Now all that stuff got to be replaced. All the accoutrements. For what? If that's something that you want, cool. But if you got to have it and then have some more and have some more, and then you changing it out by the season. So now it's my shoes. I had 100 pair of shoes and that was too many. And then I got 50 because I had to have work shoes and all of that. And now I'm down to 40. That's boots, slides, flip-flops, sneakers, all kind of stuff. And I do a 1-for-1 swap. I need a new pair of black neutral, like pewter neutral color stilettos because I don't have a pair anymore. And that will put me at 41. And that's it. That's everything. Winter boots, Ugg boots, or Ugg-like boots because I can't wear Uggs because my heel is narrow. But that's it. So what's your number? How many handbags do you need? I got 14 wigs in rotation with about 8 that's just waiting to replace the ones that's on the rotation. And if I wasn't working with Nola, then I wouldn't need these headband wigs as many as I have. So this is what needs to take place. Once you understand the why, now you're going to have to do something about it. But let me read from my book, The Clutter Process, and how you got here. Okay. So you have a tendency to tell yourself one day you will get back into that suit. So you store it. You believe that you may need a particular file later, so you store it physically or in the cloud. You believe that you will finish building the table for the deck, so you store the supplies for it in the garage. Years pass and you end up with a plethora of clothes, files, tools, supplies that will never be used, but you keep them just in case you need them. The fact of the matter is, you don't want to let go. And holding on to all of that clutter provides a false sense of security in your life. Realistically speaking, you cannot move forward successfully if you are still holding on to the past. Okay? It's not going to happen. And so the quote that I have in my book for this is mess creates stress. Mess creates stress. So when you have a life that is filled with clutter, it is impossible to be organized and see things clearly. To eliminate the clutter in your life, you need to do an overhaul at least twice a year and a minor cleanup every quarter. This applies to all areas of your life, your office, your home, your garage, your car as well, and any storage units or anything else that you may have. And you have connection issues, choppy in and out. Okay, well, you can watch the replay, Sharonda, if it is doing that for you. Okay, so that's what's happening. So how are you going to start? You have all this stuff, shit is everywhere, and you're just like, you know what? I'm just overwhelmed right now, Dr. Downer. I'm having a hot flash just thinking about it, and I ain't even in menopause, but you got me sweating. You're gonna start small. You're gonna start small with the smallest thing. If you have to start with the junk drawer in the kitchen, start with the smallest closet. It could be the broom closet, the storage closet, the laundry closet, and you're going to make that organized. Go through. Do you need all these towels and all these sheets and all of these everything else? If you don't need pillowcases and all of these blankets and stuff, only keep what you all are actually using. Donate everything else. If you have all of that and the kids are gone and you still have all that stuff, the bed, you got twin sheets and you don't even have twin beds no more, okay? That has to go. So the rule is if you haven't used it in a year, donate it. And it's less than sentimental. Like I have my prom dress and I have my suits that I still, so if you can fit it, obviously you keep it as well. And then my dress that for my college graduation party, and that's it. Everything else, if we have not used it or worn it, then it gets donated because you do. And pick 2 sizes. This is what I say for people who have multiple sizes. I'm gonna get back in that. I'm gonna get back in that. No, you're not. You have pick 2 sizes. Okay. You need a fall winter size and you need a spring summer size. And the rest of that gotta go. But I'm motivated to get back in this outfit. How long you been saying that? Okay. Let's get real. Got to get real to heal. So pick 2 sizes. And if your big size is too tight, then you need to do some pushaways. Push yourself away from the doggone table. And you're going to select a small space and you're going to do that small space. That's it. Don't say I'm going to clean up this whole house. We're going to clean up the whole house, the storage units, the garage and everything. We're going to take the weekend. No, you're not, because you're going to stress yourself out. And you're going to do one small space, go to the next space and the next space and the next space and the next space. And you're going to use our system of discard, donate, and keep. And once you keep in that one space, discard it, donate it, and keep it. And then you're going to organize what you kept. That's all. Don't organize. Don't say, well, we gonna see. First thing we're gonna do is pull everything out. No, I told you what to do. Small space first, and then work your way up. And if you have people that live in your house, everybody that contributed to that doggone clutter needs to be a part of this process. Because if you don't have buy-in, as soon as everything is clutter-free, if everybody hasn't addressed their why, it's gonna happen again. And y'all gonna be right back there once again. And we have seen it with people not being bought in. It's no bueno. So everybody has to be bought in. Everybody got to sit down. If you have to have a family meeting and say, I need to know your why, your why, your why. Because the kids be like, I want to keep that because when I was in the 3rd grade. Okay, cool. You can't keep everything. You can't, because you can't see everything. So if you can't see it, you can't keep it. You can't have things stacked on top, on top, on top, on top, and behind, and added to the storage unit and everything else. Because remember, the cortisol is stopping you physically and mentally, and it's also impacting your health as well as your doggone sleep pattern. So one small space, and you work your way up to that big eyesore of a garage or whatever it is, the bedroom, the closets, and everything else, your storage unit. You work your way up to that. And this is for physical, digital, or mental, because you actually need to clear out the clutter here. So if there's any trauma up here, you need to clear that trauma out as well. Because if you don't, the trauma here is going to show up out here. It's going to show up in your physicality, and you're not going to know what it's attached to. And if you have these emotional attachments, oh my goodness, but I got to keep it because it's sentimental. Everything can't be sentimental. If everything is sentimental, then nothing is sentimental. And then once you're clutter free, you're going to do Lean Six Sigma and Kaizen. Everything in this place and a place for everything. So everything needs to have a place, and that's where it goes back. If plates go on the second shelf in the cabinet on the right, then plates go on the second shelf on the cabinet to the right, and every member of the household puts plates back where they belong. If the lawnmower goes in the shed along with the blower and the hedger, then the lawnmower, don't have the lawnmower in the garage one day, have it on the side of the house. The next day it's in the garage, it's in the shed, it's in the backyard, on the back of the side of the house, the gas cans. So everything has to have a place for it. And that will ensure that you're not going to have short-term stress or long-term stress, because you're going to just put it back where it belongs. My shoes still go back in the box that I purchased the shoes with. Here you go. Put them right back in the box. I don't do those clear containers because of how odd shaped all my shoes are. I just put them back in the box. I know they're going to fit in the box that they actually came in. So a place for everything, and everything in its place. And again, if you have not used it or worn it in a year, it goes. If you've gone through that season, we're getting ready to come to spring. And last spring, if you did not have that thing on, donate it. You are not going to wear it. If you went the whole entire spring, summer season and you haven't put it on, you are not about to wear it this year. Now, there are certain things that I do save. So I have some vintage Lucky Brand jeans that are in my closet, but I can see everything in my closet and I can still fit those jeans in my closet as well. So I'm not saying get rid of all your stuff. I'm saying if you don't wear it and you're not using it in your kitchen, in your garage, everywhere, you shouldn't have 50 computer bags and you're retired. Okay? You need one computer bag, maybe two. If you got two different size computers, but you don't need 30 computer bags. You don't need 75 pair of pantyhose, and you don't go to church no more, or you live in a warm climate and it's too hot to put them on. So it's all these things. You don't have to have 95 black ties. Okay? That's not necessary. And the other thing that I do when we're doing organizations is when people pick something up, I watch. And if they make a face, if they do like this, if they start, then I know that they want it. But if they go, I just grab it out their hand and donate it. You don't want it no more. If you're trying to figure out why you bought it, and when you start taking it out, and then what happens is, because of the clutter, you find yourself having duplicates and triplicates of things because you couldn't find it. So now you have 18 pair of scissors all over the house because you can't remember which drawer the scissors belong in. So when you go use the Lean Six Sigma and the Kaizen, everything in this place and a place for everything, now you have everything exactly where it is. And everybody, this is why you need everybody in the house personally accountable, so it all goes back. Nola used to take all her toys out of her toy box. She had one of those big bins, and at the end of the day, everything went back in the toy box. And if it did not fit in the toy box, then somebody bought her a new toy. We purged the other toys, because all those toys need to fit back in that toy box, point blank, period. And then don't be a storage unit for your family and friends. If you are the stable person and you have the biggest house and the biggest garage, and you got 4 siblings and you got all their stuff, and Big Mama died and you got that, and you got Uncle Lou's stuff and all of that, and now you can't even put your car in your own damn garage, that stuff got to go. If they want that stuff, then they need to pay for storage. They need to pay for storage. That's their clutter. Because now the energy from all of that is sitting there, and it's sitting in your house, and you keep grasping on. Every time you walk past it, near it, that energy from that stuff is on you. And that's creating short-term and long-term stress as well. So you just walk through the garage, you got cortisol from stuff from 1972, 1952, all on you. And you just try to get through the house, to get through the kitchen, get through the hallway to get stuff done. So don't be anybody's storage. Can I just put, nope, here's what you can do. Send them a link to the closest storage unit next to where they live. $19.99. You get your small little locker or something. This is what you can do. The first month is usually free when you sign up. But stop being their storage unit up here and out here. Don't store none of their stuff, okay? Because it's stopping your neurogenesis. Every time you collect and store something, that means that that's a neural pathway that you've created. Yes. And you cannot be the storage unit for anybody. They need to pay for their storage, because if it's not costing them anything, they can't see it. If they got to write that $30 or automatic payment, however they set it up every month, then they're going to be like, man, I got to rethink my life. I got 3 storage units. You do. I got $250 a month I'm giving to you storage. You sure are. You might want to look at that. So no, don't be the storage bearer. Carry only what you need. My platoon sergeant said that. Carry only what you need. Store only what you need. Okay? Now, what questions do you have? So don't, again, physically or virtually. So we've gone over eliminate the clutter. You're going to start with the smallest thing. Only do that. Don't tackle more than one area in one day and only give it a couple hours. If something takes multiple days to get it done, you're doing discard, donate, and keep. If nobody can use it, throw it away. If somebody can use it, donate it. Get the tax write-off. Don't decide, well, I'm not going there because if somebody else uses it and they don't, that ain't for you to decide. Let the universe take care of that. Okay? And then you are organizing what you keep. A place for everything and everything in its place. Okay? What questions do you have about how you're going to eliminate clutter? Got to get to the why. Why is it there? And now you're going to do something about it. Discard, donate, and keep. And then you're going to only organize what you are keeping. And get organized and stay organized is coming in the next 2 days. But you got to get rid of that clutter. You got to get rid of it. You want to have a garage sale, you can do that too. But what you can't do is keep it because it's stopping you. That is messing with your mind, messing with your weight, messing with your life, with your health, and no neurogenesis for you because you got too much clutter. Not gonna happen. And I doubt that Nola has questions because she's definitely, and Nola used to be extremely disorganized with her ADD and ADHD. And now everything is fluid. Her clothes are, she knows she has to take pictures of her new outfits so she can look to see. Any tips for determining the why? If it's something that you purchased, you're going to have to say why. So I do have a video, why do I have it? So if you message me, if you email me, I can send you the why do I have it video. So it's called why do I have it? So send me an email and I will send you the why. Why do I have it? I literally have a video that's called why do I have it? That's funny. Any other questions? Okay. So we're going to be at the website now, turnarounddoctor.com. You're going to go to Letters from Louise on the social media tab. My pleasure. So on the social media tab, you're going to do Letters from Louise. Hot flash. And you're going to do Letters from Louise. And today we're doing Share. And Share is a very quick read. And once you've read Share, go ahead and do your ... And then what are your takeaways, thoughts, initial impressions, whatever that comes to mind for you, go ahead and type that up. Oh, poor little nose is just itching today. Let It Go, Let It Go. Really short Frozen song. I never saw Frozen before. So I can say that this poem was written because people are niggardly with their talent and it's share. It's Share on Letters from Louise with their everything, honestly and truly. They are definitely hoarding their information, their money, their resources, everything. And so that's where this came from, was just share it. Just share. Nothing's gonna happen if you share it. But this whole ill-gotten gains and this competition of if I tell you how to do it, that's going to give you a competitive advantage over me, or take away from my competitive advantage with someone else. I actually give things to people that they might like in my home, especially books that I've read and sometimes clothes. Yes. And I have taken bracelets off my arms and diamond necklaces and everything, gave it people to did. Here, you like it, you can have it. Because the universe will reward you in a different way. Right. So stop living selfishly. And so people always just think, oh, well, you have money, you should share your money. But you can share your information, you can share your recipes, you can share your wisdom, your knowledge, your skill sets. You, as Nola mentioned, you can be of service. So there are things that you can share. And the question is, what would make people not share? A bad experience with an unaccountable person? That does, I mean, I don't, that's that person. That has nothing to do with me willingly giving something else. Because if I don't think of it as quid pro quo, I did this for you, so now you owe me because I gave this to you. Like I mentioned, we've helped people stranded in cars and everything else. And every time we've had anything that needed to be done with the car, there's always been a person coming to support us that we would have never thought, because that's the universal principle. So that's why I say higher power, the universe, and God, because the universe will come back and give it to you. So when people are stingy, niggardly with their things and they don't want to share, those are the most unhappiest people that I've ever seen in my life. They just want more, want more, want more. Greed is an addiction, and then they can't figure out why things aren't working out for them. Scrooge comes to mind from A Christmas Carol, and that's what happens. But we definitely can share more. And what I will say as an old head is that you definitely can share. If I see somebody 25, I will say something. And they don't have to listen to me, but I'm not about to just let them go and do something crazy or not give them the information that I have, because I'm like, well, they just gonna have to learn on their own. Or sometimes they might be willing to hear what you have to say. Now, if you're a hypocrite, then they're not gonna listen to you, but that's your choice to give them that information. And Sharonda, you said true. Sharing, giving is an act of selflessness and kindness. Sharing actually feels great. Right. You actually, it's an exchange that works for you. So it's a matter of sharing because you believe that this is of value. When it's called Greater Than Yourself is the name of the book. And when you have more, you have the ability to give more, and it doesn't detract or distract from anything that you're doing. All the information that I have put out on the internet doesn't stop me from functioning day to day. I've been like, whoo, that show took a lot out of me today. Boy, I can't post for another 2 years after how much I put up there today. That just took me out. It's effortless for me. You all have experienced it. I'm on a live, like that's a Dr. Donna quote right there. I was on live yesterday talking about I probably got 50 gigabytes, 40 to 50 gigabytes worth of doggone videos, graphics, and audios in my phone automatically waiting. I just got a notification the other day that I only had 8 gigs left on my phone, and I got a 128 gig phone. And we thought that that was going to be enough. Looking like I need a 256 now. Anyway, the point is that you give of what you have a lot of. Some people have a lot of money, some people have a lot of information, some people have a lot of skills, some people have a lot of wisdom, some people can give food. But when you do that, we as an adult population get the benefit from each other. There are so many recipes that I have from my time in the military and just being stationed in different places. You come together, you have a meal. Next thing you know, you got a recipe, you're talking to people. Food brings people together. And I have a lot of recipes from those moments just like that I still use to this day. So share more. And it isn't a matter of, well, I'm not going to share with them because they're selfish. Somebody got to lead by example. Somebody, one plants, one waters, and God gives the increase. So it's your responsibility to give more. But you can't give more if you got clutter. The last thing you can think about is giving anything because of the cortisol. So you are not sleeping right, you're not eating right, and you can't live in peace because you got all this chaos and mayhem and clutter everywhere. So that's another reason why I'm surprised at how many people's houses have clutter versus not. I'm just like, wow, it's interesting that it's just a lot of stuff everywhere. Bags, shopping bags, shoes, pet beds, and all kind of stuff everywhere. And people are just walking around, and I guess you must not can't see it no more. Or you just ignoring it. So now you don't even know. Just slide some stuff off the counter. In certain houses, they're like, you want something to drink? No, I'm good. We got water. We got water in our bag. Thank you. But no, absolutely not. Nope. They're like, you got to put on booties. Damn right. You right. I do. I absolutely do. Because I don't know what's stuck on this floor. But I don't want it stuck on the bottom of my shoe. So booties it is. We are aligned. I have no issue with it whatsoever. Not at all. In fact, I'm about to put this plastic drop cloth down before we put our stuff on it. Oh, you are consumers. That is a great point that you brought up, Regina, because there are actually two types of people. And guess what? As soon as you start participating in neuropability, which means neurogenesis and neuroplasticity, you start creating things. And when you start creating things, guess what you stop doing? Consuming so many things. So I have been doing this longer than anything else. And this is the least amount of stuff I've had in my life since I was a teenager in high school, because I create every day. And because of that, I'm fulfilled. So I got less and less stuff. This is the least amount of purses I've had. I don't wear watches anymore. I barely put on earrings. I used to have jewelry and bracelets and all this stuff on. And now that I am creating and contributing to the world, guess what I'm not doing? I buy things when I need them. And it's not like we don't have food or things like that. But this retail therapy, going to the mall every week. I used to have salespeople at all my stores, Black House, White Market, Lucky Brand, and Gucci. They call me and tell me my stuff is in and all this. I'm looking at the spring collection and I got it first and all. I don't have to do any of that anymore. I don't have to do any of that. We eat off the dishes that I got in 1997. Those are the dishes that I kept. We got enough glasses for both of us. And if we have guests at our house, which we never do, create more and consume less. And the only how you can do that is if you get rid of the clutter and you have neurogenesis. Because if you think about it, neurogenesis is creating neurons. So that means that you are wiring neural pathways to something you've never done before. And your fulfillment is happening because you're using your frontal lobe. And so you have all these things coming into your working memory. You're learning, you're producing, so you can actually see what you created. So you don't have to go and buy something that somebody else created because you're not using it. And I think that the person that created what you purchased wanted you to use it or wear it or display it because that's why they created, and you got it in a box somewhere. So you're not even keeping up the universal principle of putting it on display or wearing it. You're not even doing it. You have 30 sets of dishes and you don't even have people over to your house anymore to display the dishes. Here, this is a serving platter from Cuisinart. And you don't even have that. It's just there. I bought it because in the moment you wanted to purchase it, but you didn't want to use it. And you didn't want to wear it. Well, I bought it. My mother was famous. I saw that online. I bought it from thing and it didn't even fit. So here, y'all can have that. So you were just sitting there wanting it in that moment. You had a wait for it. You needed to boost the dopamine. So you bought it. Ooh, I got it. It was 3 for $5. They was 10 for 10. BOGO. Oh man, I got it. It was the last one left. And now you over there like, I don't even like orange. How I got 5 orange t-shirts? Why was I caught up in to get it? You know, Costco got toilet paper on sale. You got a fort of toilet paper in your house and you live alone. You got 96 cases of toilet paper and you live by yourself that you got to walk through past. So now, why do I have it? Why did I buy it? Because did I need it? So, and I have Wilma's wealth tips. And Wilma says you buy what you want and then you still need what you need. You got all this stuff you want, you still need what you need. So you take care of the needs first, and then every now and then you buy what you want. And what you find is that you value the thing that you wanted because you don't have all of the things. You wanted it, and now you don't want it. We have in our subdivision, everybody has a 2-car garage, and most people have their cars in their driveway. Why? Because the garages are full. The garages are full of stuff, of everything. Can't nobody. We are a rare group that can actually, we are us and our neighbor Andy, who used to be my parents' mailman on the other end. Us and him are the only people that can park their car in the garage. Nobody else can. On either side. Everybody's car is sitting in and some people have 3-4 cars and be cheating and parking in guest parking. They got too many cars. 2 people with 4 cars. That makes and a motorcycle. Person live across the street. So now they have 3. They sold one at the community garage sale. So you just have all this stuff, and that's why I call it stuffification, because you just have so much stuff that you don't even know what to do with it anymore. And now you're like, but my favorite one is that costs a lot of money. I can't give that away. Why you ain't using it then? It costs a lot of money, so you spent a lot of money on it, and it's sitting in the back of the closet not being used. And you just going because it costs a lot. So you're keeping it because it costs a lot of money. Okay, got it. Roger that. Okay. Reevaluate that. Either use it or sell it. You put on Facebook Marketplace. You can do it at Plato's Closet or something, the online stores or something. But just to keep it because it costs a lot of money. Apparently, it doesn't matter because you're not using it. So that's how that goes. So now you know what to do. Again, eliminate the clutter. The cortisol is causing a lot of problems in your life. And you are the most important thing that you take away from today is you can't participate in neurogenesis. Your brain is not going to create new neurons with all that cortisol because it's a stressful, fearful environment, and the new neurons can't survive in that toxicity. For some people, stuff is a symbol of wealth. Okay. And we had wealthy clients, and it took us 5 days to clear out their 10,000 square foot mansion enough for them to get the movers to come to pack their stuff up. That's how much stuff they had in a 10,000 3-car garage square foot home. It took us 5 full days to clear out their house just so the movers could come and pack things up. So unaccountable people may have said that that's a sign of wealth, but it's not. It's a sign of cortisol neurologically. Now that's what they could be telling themselves, but duplicates and triplicates of everything. Crazy. And it's at every price point. Everybody got a bunch of stuff. So it's not, oh, because I'm wealthy. No, it's people in studio apartments with a bunch of stuff. It doesn't matter. You just buying it from Five Below and what is that other store? Five Below and DD's Discount and all of that. Because now you can still have the look for less at your level. It's easy to do it. Shein, Wish, all of that. So people still have all the pots, all the pans, all the bedspreads, all the toys, all the everything. It's just at the Five Below price point instead of at Pottery Barn and, Living Spaces and all of that. But it's cortisol. So wealth is being able to have choices, which you do with your day. And for me, now I realize is actually your time. What you get to do with your time shows how wealthy you actually are, because you are in control of the thing that is not renewable. So there are people with millions and billions of dollars that don't have control of their day. So that's a trap too. And that's just a side note. So clutter creates cortisol, if you want to write that down. And now you don't get any neurogenesis because of that. So you got to ask yourself, do I want some neurogenesis? Do I want to fully execute neuropability, or do I want some stuff? Do I want some stuff? Do I want to be able to breathe and sleep and rest and have peace and think and create? Or do I just want to take the dopamine route and just get me a little bump and keep consuming, and then get upset when my working memory doesn't work and I can't problem solve and I can't think straight and I can't move and I can't get out of a toxic situation because I got all my stuff. I got all my stuff. Stuffification. Your possessions are now possessing you, and now you're possessed by your possessions. So you look good when you can find the outfit to put on. And then you do it so when people come to your house, they know you got the woo and the new and big plasma TVs in every room and all that stuff. And got a whole bunch of stuff. Just a whole bunch of stuff. You just show how much you consume. And if it were fulfilling, then you wouldn't have to keep doing it. But that's how you know it's not working, because it's not fulfilling and you keep having to purchase. Even if you're addicted to going to garage sales, it's not even a price point. It's the stuff in and of itself. And it's the euphoric feeling, that nice little dopamine boost. I worked hard. So the dopamine is I'm rewarding myself for my hard work. Look how hard I work. So yeah, I need these cars. Look how hard I work. This is my reward for working hard. And what did you miss out on working that hard? What was happening in life while you was out there working hard to buy all this stuff? Just asking for a friend. Okay, so following up from yesterday was solicit feedback. So who did you solicit feedback from? I had a person that finished up and they did a closeout survey. So they sent me their answers, and because of negativity bias, they said 6.5 things went well. And the one thing that stuck out was they told me that the personal stories in my Real Leader Brain videos were boring. And that's what I sat on for about 45 minutes. ignored everything else because of negativity bias, slept on it, woke up this morning with a different revelation and reviewed some things. But I sat with that for that moment. And then I even said, well, this isn't, because the question is, what can be improved? And that person said, the Real Leader Brain videos are good, but your personal stories are boring. No offense. So that was the actual statement. I was like, no offense, but I am offended by that. That's not performance focused feedback, but let's go ahead and unpack it. And so I will be redoing some things with regards to that because of the first 30 videos versus, because there's 93 videos in there now. I went back and watched a couple of the videos. And what's interesting, Virginia, is that you sent a message because you're reading my book and you said you like the personal stories. So then I went back and forth with that. And then I said, okay, let me go back and reassess what's taking place. Then I even said, people don't know how to give feedback. So I had to take that into consideration. And I said, and this is this person's opinion. And they believe that that's something that needs to be improved for people that are coming behind them. So I did solicit the feedback, and then I reread everything else and took it in its totality and told myself negativity bias is what's causing you to fixate on this one little thing because the brain is still wired for that. Do not allow your amygdala to get hijacked and feel like you need to lash out and retaliate. I thank the person. And that was that. So yeah, that was my feedback moment for yesterday. And everyone else should be typing ... as well, so that I know that you're thinking, you're talking about your solicited feedback from yesterday. Regina says, I had a conversation with a friend yesterday and we were discussing current events, and he said I was a critical thinker and based. Wish we had more character limits. And I am telling you, I'm not going. You're the best man I ever known. Is it stuck? Did y'all type it and I'm stuck? Because Sharonda said there's connectivity issues. Okay, got it. And while I'm waiting, spring forward is killing me, y'all. Yesterday I woke up at 2 and had to stay up. Fortunately, I could take a nap. And today I woke up at 1 o'clock. I'm like, how I'm springing forward and keep springing forward. So now I'm 2 hours behind or ahead. This is the first time it's ever happened this way. Normally I'm lethargic and can't stay up. And now I'm waking up. I got about 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours of sleep. So I have to take a nap before our first appointment or I'm not going to make it. Nola said, I had to solicit feedback by asking how to manage real leadership, assembled sports all at once. Yes. Oh, Kevin, I actually had my wife give me feedback on a social media post before posting it. Well, that's cool. It was glitching and blurry for me. The same time she said that I think it was out on our end. It's clear now. Got it. And Regina said, I didn't expect that comment, but I was pleasantly surprised. Thought about my learning about brain and PA videos and realized that I'm growing and changing. And that is what's actually taking place. So I had to sum it up. And if you'd like, you can start discussing what you learned today so we can have that in case you need to go. So what did you learn today? Here's what I will say. Monday is I have 3 lives. So I have the morning mental workout, then I have the PA for the day on TikTok at 3 p.m. And then I have the Instagram live, No Fear Zone, at 4 o'clock p.m. And what I was explaining on the TikTok live is you can't understand what I'm saying if you are not open to neurogenesis. If you aren't, and then on the Instagram live, I said if you have a fear of learning, then you're never going to learn how to hold yourself personally accountable. So you need to address your fear of learning first, because if that's there, nothing I say, you're not going to create neurogenesis. And that's what I explained to them on TikTok yesterday as well, is that neurogenesis is how you change your life. You can go to as many conferences as you want. You can attend teleseminars if they still have webinars, podcasts, and all of that. If you don't create new neurons, you will not change. It's not going to happen. It's not, because your neural pathways are already wired to what they're going to do, and they're set. And unless you do some pruning, as we talked about yesterday, and stop using those neural pathways, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So the neurons are going in the same neural pathway again and again and again, and you keep saying, I'm gonna change, I'm gonna change, I'm gonna change, I'm gonna change. No, you're not, because you don't change. How? You need some new neurons in order to create a new neural pathway, to get some new neuroplasticity, do some more cognitive overload, get into your working memory, and now it becomes part of your day-to-day. But to just say, I'm going to change, I'm going to move. You're going to take same old you to a new location, and with them same old moving boxes, unless you create new neurons. That's how it happens. That's the reality of the situation. So you can do everything. You can go to the gym, you can do a crash diet, you can start juicing and everything. If you don't create new neurons with new neural pathways, it's not going to work. It is not going to work. Okay, I don't care, because it's recidivism, or not. It's the law of diminishing marginal utility. It's going to go up, it's going to go down. Water rises to its natural level. So you're going to revert back to the old behavior, because there wasn't a new neural pathway and you didn't prune the old neural pathway. So that's the takeaway as you begin to talk to other people and they say they want to change. You can say, well, have you heard about neurogenesis? And they say, oh, no, I don't have to, I ain't got to do all that. I'm going to just go ahead and go to therapy. And I told him, if you've been in therapy for 7 years and you're still in therapy, your therapist is taking your money, because it don't take that long to create new neural pathways. It don't. Okay. It's just spinning you. The insurance company, everybody, your copay, all of that, leave. Because that's not how long it takes. If you are still working through some stuff weekly for 7 years, even monthly for 7 years, wrong. It's not going to work. All right. So, Regina, you said, clutter, don't be a storage unit for other people's stuff. Nola said, clutter is connected to cortisol, which makes sense because cortisol makes you cloudy, and clutter does the same thing. Sharonda, you said, my husband gave me feedback regarding our dog. He said she needs a consistent routine. I would agree with that, Sharonda. And I had a border collie for 96 for 5 years, I think it was. And then we had to give her away because she didn't like Nola, number one, but also Nola had a pet dander allergy when we moved back to Michigan. And so what I had trained my border collie to do, she couldn't get on any of the furniture. But no matter what house we lived in, she could not walk in front of the stove or the refrigerator at all, because border collie shed. And so the people that ended up with her called me and said, is there something wrong? She won't walk past the refrigerator or stove. I said, no, I trained her to do that. So there is no sitting at the table waiting on table scraps. So she knew, we're eating, go sit in your kennel or go sit somewhere else. So dogs can actually be trained and have consistent routines. Kevin said, learn DDK, discard, donate, or keep. And then Sharonda said, learn clutter creates cortisol. And then Regina said, old neural pathways remind me of old rusted railroad tracks. Takes a lot of effort to get rid of old railroad tracks. It does, because they are sedentary. They are stuck in that ground, and you got to go get an excavator to get those doggone things up. So I would agree with that sentiment. But as you, as you begin to talk to other people and as you begin to change, note and embrace change. That's what we started with, is embrace change. You have to be willing to have neurogenesis, or it's not going to work. None of it. How many times have you tried to change in the past and reverted back to your old behavior? How many times? And the only way you actually changed, if you think about it, is you actually started doing something completely different. I had to go through caffeine and added sugar detox. I don't recommend it. It was the worst 2 weeks of my life of 2023. But I did it, and I haven't reverted back to old behavior. I'm not at 7-Eleven, eating them donuts, eating all that cookies, that sugar and the cream and all of that. We don't have added sugar. We don't even have sugar in our house. Brown sugar, white sugar, raw sugar, sugar in the raw, agave, none of that. We have no sugar in our house. None whatsoever. And I do eat a little bit of sugar, because what happens is I'm so little and the body does need glucose. So I will have a cupcake or a brownie or something just to make sure that my sugar is there. But I mean, I used to take a Twix and put it in hot chocolate and dip it in drinking Mountain Dews and everything else. That's why I get bad teeth. So all that's gone. All that's gone because of new neural pathways. And so it has to die off. And I'm going to be talking about habits when we get to it. But the basal ganglia controls your habits. And that's part of the reason why you do it. So dopamine is the hormone and the neurotransmitter that rewards you. And if you want to know why you keep buying things, it's because of the dopamine release that is happening. So you go purchase something and you get some dopamine. You're like, let me go purchase something else. And so you keep looking for that. But if you switch that to creation, now you're going to have your oxytocin, which is a better hormone, a better neurotransmitter, and that's going to make you feel complete. And you need less oxytocin, believe it or not. You need way more dopamine. And the more addicted you become to whatever that thing is, the more shopping you do, the more screen time, the more food you eat, the more. And it takes more for you to feel what you were feeling before. So yes, you need dopamine in small dosage, but you don't need an overhaul of it, because now it's stopping you from getting what you actually need, because you just keep getting what you want. And now you don't have what you need. So imagine going to the grocery store and skipping the produce section, skipping the water, skipping the laundry soap and toilet paper and everything, and you just got a bunch of junk food, and then you leave out the store so you can binge watch stuff. That's basically what dopamine is doing to you. So that's no bueno. Okay, in summary, today's real leader principle is, because I'm all about instantaneousness, you're going to eliminate the clutter in your life. I'm going to clear off my desk because I got posters on posters on posters on post-its. So that is the clutter because honestly, we don't have a lot of clutter. So this is only clutter place. I said, well, where am I going to get some clutter from? I'll on my desk. So eliminate the clutter in your life. You're going to pick the smallest area today. Do not put your amazing hand on your pillow. And if you got too much shit, you ain't gonna be able to sleep no way, because it's too much cortisol going on. And if it's a junk drawer, if it's the bathroom drawers, the bathroom cabinet, the cabinet under the bathroom sink, if it's a shoe closet, a coat closet, you're gonna pick something today and you are going to eliminate the clutter from it using the discard, donate, keep, and organize it. I love it. Post-it notes. You talking about on my desk? You talking about on my post-it notes on my desk? It's all about the brain. It's a couple to remind me to do day-to-day stuff, but most of it is about my brain, and I keep it in my notebook. Like right now, this indigenous is going to stay in that part of the notebook. So, all right. So you're going to eliminate the clutter. You're going to eliminate the clutter. You're going to eliminate the clutter, and you're going to do it with frequency until everything is clutter-free. You need buy-in from everybody that lives in your household. Your 3 vanity drawers, knock it out. And then take it from there. And what's going to happen is you're going to create neurogenesis for being organized, which we're going to talk about in 2 days. And you're going to get organized and stay organized. And this is not going to occur again. Let this be the last time. So the last time is the last time, because your brain is wired for clutter. And the cortisol is stopping you from doing the things that you actually can do to become your best. Oh, yeah, I got them. I get it. I definitely have them. And I like post-it notes, because Nola has sticky notes, but she needs more than me. So I literally have to use Post-it brand post-it notes. I can't use the other ones because they don't stick and they don't last. And it's hot here. It's probably the same thing for you, because it's hot and humid in Florida. So they don't stay together long term. All right. Anything else for Dr. Donna before I get out of here? Eliminate the clutter, eliminate the cortisol. Become clutter-free so you can be cortisol-free. So you can think clearly and start your neurogenesis, and keep it there. Thank you very much for your time. I will be back tomorrow, God willing, higher power and the universe. Same time, same place, different t-shirt. I'm going to attempt to try to take a nap. We'll see how that goes. But by next Wednesday, my sleep cycle will be regulated again. I just hope I can just get back. Thank you. Get back to my regular sleep cycle. I'm like, I said 1 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, I'll just lay back. I'm like, you are wide awake. What is this? Springing forward, falling back. It's goes against the Eighth Amendment. It's cruel and unusual punishment. It actually is for the larks, for the people who wake up early. Yeah, it doesn't work for us. So thank you so much. Go be clutter free. Share the discard, donate, keep with all your family and friends so you don't have to go to their house and move stuff off the couch just to sit down. It will change their life. It will. And they will start to be able to practice neurogenesis. You all go off and have a terrific, it is Tuesday. So go off and have a terrific Tuesday. And I will see those of you who are available tomorrow. And Sharonda, again, email me if you haven't already done so that I can scour my YouTube channel to get you that video link. Take care. Adios. Let me make that a highlight and then go. Okay. I probably should have did the 5 minutes.